Thank you for receiving us. As you are aware, we were a delegation led by our minister, which visited several countries to learn about higher education. We have our chairman who is going to give the briefing. The chairman is Professor Nyagura. He will brief you. Professor Nyagura.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, members of the press. It is my pleasure to give you a briefing of our very successful visit that we had. The visit was very fruitful. We visited South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, India, Cuba, and Brazil. The main purpose of the mission was to observe, to learn the experiences some of the leading universities in these countries have acquired over a period. And the thrust of our visit was focusing on technology, or broadly speaking on STEM, science and technology and engineering. We wanted to confirm that the initiatives that we are undertaking in this country are in line with the initiatives taking place in other countries, and in particular the Asian countries, which are becoming an economic force, to reckon with. And it is quite clear that industrialization and modernization of a society has to be driven by STEM, science, technology, and engineering in particular. And we identified a number of interesting things. Some of them have confirmed the initiatives we are undertaking right now here in our universities. We also found other interesting initiatives that we think we need to adopt and, put into our context as, Zimbabwean universities. The way forward is for us to transform higher education so that it is able to contribute towards industrialization and modernization of the society. Universities have to be centers of incubation of future businesses, future industries, and that means we are translating our research via innovation into technological solutions and then, of course, into enterprises. And the thrust we are going to have will be to ensure that we have startups of enterprises in universities which will then be handed over to industry to upscale and then, have mass production, of things. One, I think, has to realize that the higher education has been moving on, expanding, developing, but we are all convinced that at this, moment, which is the opportune moment that we have, we will have our ministry, which focuses on policy, defining a new national agenda for higher education. And that, I think, is very exciting. We are all committed to contributing and playing our part in terms of contributing to national development via applied research, translating the ideas and discoveries and new services into technological solutions that will empower our country to be competitive regionally, continentally, and internationally. I think in brief, that is what we can say about now. We have also formed a task force which is going to drive this initiative, and that is composed of 6 members, including myself, Professor Zobo, VC of Great Zimbabwe University, Professor Furusa of the Vice Chancellor of Africa University, Professor Mwenje of Bindura University of Science Education, Professor Kuipa of Lupan State University, and Engineer Kamkamwe, the Vice Chancellor of Harare Institute of Technology. You can see the composition that has been appointed by the Vice Chancellors that it is reflective of the seriousness that we have to undertake, the business. I think for now that is the, briefing that we'll give you. We are going to give you details within the next few days once we have consolidated and concretized the activities we are going to undertake in our efforts to contribute to national, development of this country. I thank you very much.
Thank you. We will give you a chance to ask a few questions, if you have any questions. Yes.
From your visit, I think you have learned a lot of things. What is the difference between us and the universities you visited from India? Where is the gap?
I wouldn't say, there are gaps. It would be an issue of intensification of, research activities, translation of the research through innovation into products, services, and, new technologies. That is probably what one could say is, the difference. In terms of the academic, activities, these are almost universal. And so you wouldn't really find, much. If you are training doctors here, they are training doctors there. The curriculum structure is very similar. And so it becomes an issue of intensification of what we are doing versus what they are doing, in these countries that we visited.
Issue of research.
Research, obviously, they have generous funding because of the context in which they are. And these will be issues we are going to discuss in detail and then, engage our ministry to see ways of financing research. But obviously, we are thinking much more globally in terms of research. We will have, partners that we are going to work with who have indicated they're prepared to avail lots of monies to do applied research, which are intended, to provide solutions to challenges that, the society is facing. We will also have, donors. We will also ourselves, make a contribution to serious research in order for us to attain, the things we have focused on and we have decided are the things that will catalyze, the revitalization of the economy through, startups as we incubate, current and future industries of this country.
Well, I don't see any other end. Thank you very much. As our chairman has said, we will contact you to give you detailed briefing once we have concretized our visit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.